Counter-terrorists are pushing out to the car and taking control of Banana. This guy's job is to force them back. Force them back where they have to play from the site, where they have to play from site or spawn. You have to force them back here, okay? So his job is using smokes and flashes to push the counter-terrorists back into the bomb site. If the counter-terrorists are playing in the bomb site already, his job is to come and make them use all their smokes and flashes early so that they start smoking the choke point. And you can do this by just peeking out, pressuring them by shooting. They don't want to take an engagement against you. They want to stop you and slow you down and push you back. So your job is to make them waste all their smokes in this choke point. Reason being is because late round, when there's 40 seconds left on the clock, now if you need to do a B execution, they have no smokes to stop the execution. You can come into B and run in without being like, what's easier, running into B like this or running into B without that smoke? Without, obviously. So your job is to just bait all their smokes out early round so that late round you can do an execution. While that guy is doing that over at B, you need to be taking apartment control and middle control. So the apartment control guy's job is to make sure this room's clear, make sure this room's clear, and to stick a guy in boiler area so that he can control and help control mid, but he can control apartments as well. Odd1 biggest fan, thanks for the sub. Auburn, thanks for the donation. No problem, Auburn. So you want to take apartment control, and you're gonna want to take middle control after you have apartment control, and as you're doing banana control, that's when you're taking middle control. So middle control you can do by, first of all, you need to have two people taking apartment control. You can't just have one person go in. If you have one person go in and he gets killed by an aggressive push, you have no trade kill, you don't take control of apartments, you're fucked. HS Love 86, thanks for the sub. So, you need to have two people coming into apartments together. You can do this by both coming up these stairs here, or you can do it by having one guy boost up into the window room and one person coming up the stairs at the same time. And what would happen is this guy would come up the stairs and he would just sit here holding boiler steps, and then this guy would come up to the window. These should be blown out earlier around. Like a guy can come up here and start blowing this out. So when the guy boosts up, his job is to clear bedroom while this guy holds the boiler steps. Where am I? Dude, I'm out of breath. So this guy's holding... Where the fuck am I? This guy's holding boiler steps, that guy clears the bedroom. Now once bedroom's clear and shit, now this guy can come from window and they can double peek halls. Once halls is pushed back, once halls is clear, one person stays here, now you can take middle control. So middle control is just, again, is forcing the enemies back so they can't crossfire into the top of mid, like T-junction. You want to force these counter-terrorists to fall back into pit, playing pit or site or moto or library or spawn arch, anywhere like that. Ooh, 10-man time. Your job is to push them back so that they have to play passive. Once they're playing passive in these positions, now you could be like hanging out top of team mid, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Now if you do an execution, you start throwing smokes over at B or throwing smokes at A, they don't know where you're going. So in that demo that I was just reviewing where they grouped 5 people at B, what happened was that the counter-terrorists started peeking through the window. So the counter-terrorists would either come here, well 5 people are B, the counter-terrorists would come peek down mid, or they'd walk into the window room, have apartment control, have vault mid control, and then basically pre-stack a guy over to B because they know, hey, the enemies are going B, there's no one at mid. Because the terrorists didn't have any map control at mid, they didn't have any apartment control, they didn't have mid control, they didn't establish presence, they didn't push the CTs back. Now, when the terrorists push into the B bomb site, there's going to be 3 or more CTs holding this bomb site, and they're going to start throwing smokes down. So the whole goal of taking map control and pushing the CTs back is that when you come up, you smoke off one side of mid, you isolate it. It means that anyone who's arch side can't help his teammate's porch. Now the porch guy has to fall back, otherwise he's staying here and fighting, and then you'll get the trade kills and you'll kill him. Once the CTs are pushed back into the bomb site now you can leave a guy here and go back to B, or leave a guy B and come back to A, and do a full execution. Now the CTs have to be playing 3A, 2B. Like, that's the setup they have to run. They don't have enough knowledge, like map control. They don't have any information to know what to do, where to rotate to, what you're gonna hit. They don't know any of this stuff. This is where fakes work really well. Because if you're gonna do a fake now, they don't know if it's a real attack or a fake attack. They don't know because they don't have anyone spotting for real information. All they have are the smokes and flashes that are coming off, like over the roof. That's the only information they have. And they don't know if it's real or fake based off that information. They need to know how many players there are they pushing in, are they committing? Like, for all they know, like, if you're doing smokes at A, let's say you're doing A smokes, for example. I forget how, I think this is one, and then, I think these are the smokes. God, I haven't done them for ages. So if you guys do these A smokes, for example, and then you just sit here. You just sit here and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. Destructo, thanks for the sub, dude. If you're just waiting here, and you don't do anything for like 10 seconds, you do those smokes, you throw like one flash each, and you just sit here and wait, the counter-terrorists are going to be like, they're coming A, they're coming A, they're coming A! Wait, there's nothing. I think they're going B, they're going B, they're going B. I'm rotating, I'm pushing up. Oh shit! No, they're just waiting mid, they're waiting mid, they're going A, they're going A again. So what happens is, the guy who's over here, he'll start rotating over here. Oh, they're doing an A hit. They start throwing all the counter flashes and stuff. The B guy's rotating towards A. Wait, there's nothing. Oh shit, I'm going back to B, I'm going back to B. He starts running back to B. This guy starts rotating to push mid. You kill him mid. Now this guy's out of position. He's not close to lane to defend that. And you guys just push in right then. You flash pit and you get into the site and you kill him. So that's what the whole purpose of having mid control as apartment control and banana control is as a terrorist, is to force the counter-terrorists into a passive setup where you can do a full execution, 5 versus 3 or 5 versus 2, 5 versus 2 at B or 5 versus 3 at A. It allows you to do fakes, double fakes. It allows you to do anything as a terrorist. So terrorist, it's really important to take map control, and that's what the goal is on a default. To take apartment control, you can do it with a fucking Molotov. You can come here and do a Molotov like this. This is gonna kill anyone in the bedroom, anywhere at all, anywhere where you are in the bedroom, you're fucking dead. Well, except for here, apparently. Okay, I'm coming. It's getting packed.